Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And here we are. Welcome to it. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Got a brand new Pat Gray bingo card pinned to the top of the Twitter page at Pat Unleashed. Starting in the upper left-hand corner with this.
Point of personal privilege.
Point of personal privilege. Then we got Latinx. Jeffy mentions his websites.
Uh-oh.
Ouch.
Nice.
Pat has a grammar peeve of some kind.
Oh, boy.
Man, I
Huh?
I won't say who it was, but I worked with somebody a while ago.
Yeah?
Last week, I think, on one of the shows. And he must have said it especially 30 times.
Oh, no.
Especially and supposedly.
Oh, no. You got the twofer?
But it was everything I could do to just not say anything.
Wow.
But I just didn't say anything.
It could work out that you that you work with someone on this show that may pronounce the Silver State.
Nevada.
Not to your liking.
Yeah, that drives me out of my mind.
So that'll count. If hopefully we get some news from the Silver State, and then you can get a square there.
Keith mentions idiosyncrasy.
Idiocracy.
Idiosyncrasy.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I couldn't
That's my pet peeve right there.
Idiocracy.
Yeah, I just can't mention it to you.
Right.
I can't ask you to watch it.
Right, because you've said you're
then
not
I
going
get to get punched in the face or something.
Mm-hmm. Then there's, I don't know. We've upped ours now. Up yours. The video of the hygienic mask factory.
Thank you, Rob. Look at that.
Feet.
There they are.
The filthy feet and the masks all over the floor.
That right there is what is mandated in
wife beaters.
Your town. But you wear that.
Yeah. I mean, look at how hypoallergenic those things are, I'm sure.
I mean, those are probably freshly washed feet.
Oh, man.
Freshly washed feet next to those masks.
It's really hard to believe.
It's
really hard. It is.
You live on this planet, right?
It is. I do. And it still amazes me. And we got Jen Psaki, circle back.
I will have to circle back on that one.
Mm-hmm. Jeffy is overweight. Via Getty.
Always in the news, that guy.
Fun. Yeah. You could say that. And I just did. Then it's Telemundo, Maria, Telemundo. I'm old enough to remember when. I didn't look for this, but I believe
in
this.
Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
He's not joking. He's not joking. Let's see. This.
Are trained Marxists.
That would be the next one.
We are trained Marxists.
Okay, the next square. Too soon? Mentioning a Pat poll or doing a Pat poll.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffy plugs his podcast.
Oh, wow.
Is it time for pudding yet? Is it time for pudding yet? We have to do more than build back better.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do more than just build back better. We have to build back better.
We have to do more than just build back better. Build back. We have to build back better.
Nailed it.
We have to do more than just build back better. We have to build back better.
We have to do more than build back better. Build back. We have to build back better. I love it. That is great. Think about that for a minute. He's right.
We have to do more than just build back better.
Build back better.
Should have just kept moving.
Oh, heaven help us. Keith, this is Inside Baseball.
Yeah, it's Inside Baseball, what we're about to tell you.
Metric conversion, nobody knows. No one knows how to do it. And then, of course, this.
It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
So it should be a fun bingo week. Got some good stuff there. Hey, over the weekend, Phil Mickelson at 50 years old won the PGA Championship, became the oldest major champion ever.
He'll be 51 in June.
Wow. Jeez, That's amazing.
It's so cool, man.
He's almost 51 years old, and he won the PGA championship. That's pretty cool.
I love it.
When was the last time he won a major? It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while since he's won anything, I think. So that was kind of fun, though.
It's a good question.
Be interesting to see if Tiger Woods, at 43, if he ever even is able to play golf again after his car accident.
That is going to be
That'll be interesting.
An interesting story to watch.
Yeah.
It's Mickelson, let's see.
Last win?
2013. Wait, the win is lefty's first since 2013 and his first the PGA Championship in 2005. Because I remember he went the longest time and finally won, what was it? It was the Masters, I think, 2001, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember that was a big deal. But
2001?
Yeah, because I remember I had literally just moved. Yeah, it must have been the Masters because it was early April when I moved and I moved to Houston to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, whatever. I'm just very happy for him. But yes, the Tiger Woods story, see how that plays out. Oh my gosh. That's
be interesting to see. I think a lot of people are speculating he'll never golf again. But who knows? Who knows? You can't count him out of anything, really. He's had, 4 major back surgeries? He's come back from all of them. He actually won a major tournament. It was the Masters, wasn't it? Last year or a couple of years
2019,
ago.
yeah.
2019. So I wouldn't count him out, but we'll see. Also, got this. We were talking about about cereal at the end of last week.
Were we? We were talking about a lot of stuff. But,
a lot of stuff.
We were talking about that wrestler guy. Was it Steve Steiner? Is that his name? Steve Steiner.
Yeah. Oh, the guy who? Yes, he. Well, do we have the wrestling match?
The numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie
the
thing.
Numbers don't lie. Yeah.
See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning.
Man, that makes sense,
but
right?
I'm a genetic freak, and I'm
not
not
really,
normal.
But
so you got a 25% at best at beating me.
Pause it for a
Kurt
second.
Angle to the mix.
See, just because there's one guy and a different guy, that doesn't make it a 50-50 chance.
Well,
no, that's not correct from the beginning.
If the scriptwriter for the wrestling show flips a coin on who's going to win that match,
true, right?
then it's a 50.
But if you're talking about an actual skill performance, one of the guys is going to have more skill than the other, chances are. So maybe there's like an 80-20 chance, or one guy's a lot better than the other guy. There's not a 50-50 chance. Anyway, here's what else he had to say.
Your chances of winning drastically go down.
Drastically go down.
See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's
he wearing chainmail? Is that what
Samoa Joe
on his head?
Hair or is it chainmail?
Chance minus my 25%
What the hell?
chance.
What is that?
And you got
It's
an 8
chainmail.
1/3 chance
Yeah,
of winning
I thought so.
at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning. If we used to go one-on-one.
Wait, I thought you said it was 66
and two-thirds.
Yeah. Okay.
I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice.
Oh, wow.
See, Joe,
What?
the numbers don't lie.
Oh, yeah.
They spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
Numbers don't lie, my friends.
So is it fair to say that when he says your chances go down drastic and you corrected him, would it be fair to say that's a...
Would it be fair to say that's a grammar problem?
Grammar pet peeve of
Yeah,
yours?
that's a little bit of a pet peeve. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But yeah, so somebody made this cereal box here.
Okay, this isn't real. I was thinking maybe
No,
it was real.
no.
Big Papa Crunch, 141 2/3 chance of being a balanced breakfast.
I got 141 2/3 chance of winning. The numbers don't lie.
Do we have the... Yeah,
Nice
there
job
it is right
with
there.
that. Thank
Nice.
you,
That's
Rob.
great.
Rob made that for us.
Really
good
fun
stuff.
All right. Really good. I got to watch wrestling more, I think. That's my new resolution here as we're, almost halfway through the year. I'm going to watch more wrestling.
Are you now?
Yeah. No, probably not,
Okay.
actually. That's another resolution that just won't be met.
I've been listening to a podcast where WWF versus WCW over the years. My goodness. That's some intense behind-the-scenes battles between like Vince McMahon and Ted Turner. And oh my gosh, I had no idea all that stuff was going on.
I didn't know either.
Business dealings and
There's some bad blood there?
Oh.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I might be the only person, you and I may be the only people in America that don't realize this, but those two hate each other. And just how the sport has evolved over the years with pay-per-view and live events and stuff. It's very fascinating. It was on Business Wars. Good stuff.
Plus, they dropped the whole, this is real stuff thing. They just dropped it. And they don't even pretend it's real anymore, which is amazing to me. Because I think the popularity actually increased after people knew it was fake. After they knew it was scripted, it seems like it did even better for a while. I don't know if it still is.
I don't know. I've only made it through part 3 of 6, so I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, get back to me. Because it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I got some video here. Some exciting technological news announced by President Biden on Friday.
Oh, wow.
So you know it's going to be good.
To deepening our cooperation to build out an open, secure G5 network.
All right.
The G5 network. Good.
That's cutting edge. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't either. What is a G5 network again? The G5. He's so bad.
To deepening our cooperation to build out an open, secure G5 network.
No, the G5 network, it's like the G20, except there's only 5 of us, and we're building a network of 5 Gs.
Mr. President, could you count to 5 for us?
1, 5. There.
No, sir.
I did it.
Try
Can I have my pudding now?
No.
Is it time for pudding yet?
Get the man his pudding.
Pudding.
Pudding time.
I love pudding.
Mm-hmm.
Pudding keeps me going.
We know. We know it does.
Give me some pudding.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to be in trouble for asking for pudding. I'm in trouble now. I'm in trouble by my mom for asking for pudding this early in the morning. So. Also, old Japanese people are getting U.S. stimulus checks in the mail. This is good because
madness.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you hate Asians? Do you hate Japanese people? Why shouldn't they get checks from the American taxpayers?
Because they're not U.S. citizens and they haven't lived in this country for over 50 years. That's why.
And your point on that?
I believe I just made it. Made a couple of them.
An elderly Japanese man received $1,400 stimulus checks from the U.S. government. The Asahi Shimbun newspaper reported in what appears to be a mistake in the $1.9 trillion program to relieve the economic impact of the pandemic. 79-year-old who lives in Kanagawa Prefecture and has not been identified yet. Didn't know why he received the check in April. I bet he didn't.
I bet not.
He thought the payments could be somehow related to the U.S. Social Security benefits he's been receiving as someone who used to work in the United States. Please tell me we don't do this for everybody.
I don't know.
Who once worked here.
We give foreigners checks from Social Security. That's just standard fare. That's a nugget from this story that absolutely needs to be addressed.
You can't be serious. That can't happen. And then we wonder why we're $22 trillion, probably $29 trillion now, in debt. Jeez. His wife also got the $1,400 check. They got $2,800 free and clear from the U.S. government. Congratulations. Complications with the stimulus program have arisen before, including slow payments as well as mispayments to 1 million dead people. Huh. Okay, so we're paying the dead. We're paying Japanese citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows where else this is going, and we just don't know about it.
You say it like you have a problem with that. Are you like anti-Asian?
No, I love it. I love it.
By the way, to answer your question, foreign workers with valid U.S. work permits may earn credits towards Social Security benefits. They can eventually get benefits if they achieve the required number of credits and otherwise qualify. Foreign workers who are not lawfully present in the U.S. may not receive them.
Okay.
So if he was still living in America, then yes, he could.
So it's not supposed to happen, though.
No.
The United States has so much money to spare that it gives it to foreigners like me who lived there about 40 years ago.
Oh,
he joked.
We don't, dude. We do not.
68-year-old former office worker in Chofu, Tokyo, and his wife also received stimulus checks in April and May. And these examples go on and on in Japan. Stimulus payments from the U.S. ending up in Japan. Why? How? I mean, you got to be trying. You got to be trying. To send that to somebody in Japan, you have to be trying to screw up. Nobody asks, hey, excuse me, why is this stimulus check addressed to someone in Japan? Nobody asks that question. Nobody?
And remember, this is supposed to be off of 2020 tax returns. This guy hasn't worked in this country since the 70s. How does his name and address get in the system?
How does it happen?
Fraud.
Again,
That's how it happens.
You have to be trying. We got this sent to us by Pew Pew One Pew. Somebody got the COVID vaccine and wants you to know about it because they tattooed the Band-Aid and, I don't know, the virus symbol on his arm.
It's so weird.
There you go. 3/16/2021.
You're a loser.
Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Congratulations. Why would you do that?
You look like an idiot.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
It's a cult, Pat. And look at that. Look at that person's got their whole card and information right there on their arm. Oh, my.
That's going to, you know what? That's going to impress the babes.
You think so?
The ladies are going to love that. Yeah. Look at this.
You're hanging out at the bar.
I got my vaccination card tattooed on my arm. Huh?
Oh, wow. Seriously.
Take me home right this minute.
Dude pulls up to the bar. It's like, hey, so it's great getting back out and in the world, huh? Pretty cool, right? Check this out.
Look what I got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right there. Come on. I mean,
it's embarrassing.
It is pathetic. We are surrounded by COVID cult members, man. What do you call them? Branch Covidians?
Branch Covidians, yes, indeed.
This is pathetic, man.
Jack Windsor tweeted this out to us. The Ohio State University, the psychosis is real. They're bribing students with fresh air. Apparently, in response to updates to federal and state health guidance, fully vaccinated people are no longer required to wear a mask while outdoors on Ohio State campuses, effective immediately. While outdoors. Oh, really?
Thank you for the breadcrumb.
Oh, man. It's like half a crumb. So wearing a mask while indoors is still required for all individuals at this time, regardless of vaccination status. Then what good is it? A person is considered fully vaccinated 14 days following their final vaccination dose.
Okay.
In addition, students were recently sent an email asking them to voluntarily share their COVID-19 vaccination records with the university. How about no? No, thank you.
Seriously?
Not doing it.
What an obsession.
Yeah, thanks for asking, though. That's great.
And who's going to enforce this, honestly? If you're walking through campus without a mask on, how dare you in the first place? Someone going to stop you and go, let's get those vaccination. Let's see what you got here. You got your card on you?
Hey.
Stop.
Honestly, I don't know how this works.
Well, it ends
constitutionally, because it doesn't. Sure. It just doesn't work.
It ends in a digital chip is how it ends.
Likely, it does, yeah. I mean, that's the stupid way we're headed here.
But no one could have seen that coming.
No.
It's not like an ancient text or something that wrote about this.
No, I mean...
Time coming.
No, that's right. And it's not like, we're all Kreskins and could have seen something like this happen.
No. This snuck up on us.
Let me tell you about Omega XL. If you're in pain and you'd like to get out and you've tried virtually everything you can think of, from ibuprofen and acetaminophen and aspirin and whatever else, maybe even prescription drugs, and nothing has helped, it's time to try Omega XL. This could change your life. This could get you out of pain, which, if you're like me, when I'm in pain, I'm just so irritable, and unlike other times when I'm just really chipper. As you know.
Yeah.
Just really chipper and happy. And really, I normally am skipping down streets and things.
This is so true.
Mm-hmm, but not when I'm in pain, which is why it was so great to find Omega XL, even though I kind of stumbled into it reluctantly. Because it's all natural, and I thought, it's not going to help. Well, it did. It built up after about a week. I experienced pain reduction in my left elbow where the inflammation was. And after 2 weeks, the pain was gone, and I haven't had it back since. So if you'd like something to neutralize that pain, please try Omega XL. It can really change a lot for you. Let's get you started with when you go to omegaxl.com/Pat and buy one bottle, you'll get a second bottle for free. So you buy one, you get one free when you go to omegaxl.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Somebody posted this on Facebook from Los Angeles. LA County texted me last night via mass text that they were sending someone to my door to schedule a vaccine appointment. I'm trying to figure out how to respond without getting red flagged. That was the most disturbing text message I've ever received in my life. That's really hard to believe. Yeah. Somebody's not pulling our leg there, right? I mean, do we know that's a fact?
Oh, they're absolutely going door to door in municipalities across the country. Hey,
it's freaking crazy.
Got your vaccine crazy. Here. Oh, it's absolutely happening.
Door now to vaccinate people?
Oh, yeah.
No, thank you. Wow.
Yeah. It's happening on the streets of Dallas, too, in even more severe terms, if you ask me, with uniformed officers.
Yeah, Dallas County. I'm not sure I can read this teeny little print.
Yeah, Dallas County HHS sending uniformed soldiers through the streets. Go ahead and roll the tape.
We got some video of it, actually.
It's a little bit concerning.
So right now we're about to go give a COVID vaccine to someone inside a 7-Eleven. This is what community
So I don't know if
service looks like. Man,
this is what community service looks like, they say. So did they order it and then the soldiers show up? Like, what is happening? Creepy is
Hi, everybody.
We got the government HHS guy here with his two...
and he's doing it. He's complying. Yeah, go ahead. All right.
But see, I wonder if did he...
So that's the good thing about it.
Did he ask for this? Because they knew where they were going. Oh, is he going to get a Band-Aid? I want a Snoopy Band-Aid or I'm not getting the shot.
I mean, do you even know that these people really represent the military?
It said U.S. Army on his uniform.
Right, but...
Hey, put your mask up. It hasn't been 14 days.
Perks of it, man. I appreciate it, man. If anything, you know.
Do you?
It's just a little creepy, don't you think? Having uniformed soldiers going through the streets of Dallas, Texas,
very creepy,
with syringes, saying, "Hey, we're here to give you that shot you wanted."
Did he request it?
He's got to have requested it, right? Because they knew where they were going. They weren't just randomly going door to door.
We do know now that this is where you can get milk and mozzarella, though, or milk mozzarella.
Yeah. Wait, what's milk mozzarella? Because now I want it.
It's mozzarella made with milk.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This guy's just. What? Do we even know what he's talking about?
I have no idea.
Blah,
he just
blah,
keeps
blah.
going on.
Yeah,
and
I'm a sheep.
And on.
Blah blah blah. Got it.
Right. Yeah, I just got the mark of the beast.
Wait a second. I don't know that the vaccine is the mark of the beast.
No, I don't.
It would be the COVID passport is definitely. Possibly.
And I guess there is at least one listener who was upset with us talking about
what'd she say?
Some of the side effects. These stories are coming out every day. Should we ignore them? Should we not talk about things that are actually happening in the world? Let people make an informed choice. It was actually somebody who said they already got the vaccine. A bunch of them, a group of them already got the vaccine. Well, then what's the problem?
And she wants us to, quote, mellow down on the so-called adverse effects, end quote. So, or else she's going to have to stop tuning in.
Weird.
So I guess we just don't share people's stories of how their bodies have reacted.
Should we mellow down on reports of Marxism in the country, too? Because... that's not good news. It's just not good news.
There's a lot.
Should we mellow down on the fact that our president is incompetent? And
but I mean, he's our president for the next 4 years, so there's really nothing you can do about it.
Should we mellow down on the fact that there's 98 genders now? We're not talk about that anymore. Let's not talk about that.
I mean, it's going to happen anyway, Pat. So
You're right.
why don't you just mellow down on it?
I should mellow down. Should we mellow down on talking about Israel and what's going on there? The fact that they're being attacked by terrorists.
The Middle East.
Mellow down on that?
Yeah, Middle East is going to Middle East, Pat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So
you should write that down. The Middle East is going to Middle East. It's really true.
There's our title, boys.
Dude, it just is what it is.
It just is what it is.
The Middle East is going to Middle East. It just is what it is, dude.
Uh-huh.
I got this from Pat Head. Discarded? Discarded giblet tissue.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Our old friend discarded giblet tissue.
Oh, God.
I present to you this timeline. I draw no conclusions.
Uh-oh. What do we got?
Coworker got the vax. Couple of days after second shot, he suffered a stroke. A week later, he died.
Ouch.
Yeah, we should mellow down on that.
Yeah, mellow down. Don't be reading that.
I apologize. Wow, that is sad.
That sucks.
That is so sad. And what they'll tell you is, yeah, that wasn't the vaccine.
Well, what?
That wasn't the vaccine. That would have happened anyway. It just coincidentally just got the vaccine. And it's possible that's true in some of these cases, but we're hearing these things over and over and over again.
Yeah, and
they can't all be coincidence.
No, and one of the things that came out is a study that showed how, you know how you would hear hospitalized with COVID? Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of that was hospitalized with COVID, but was being reported as hospitalized for COVID.
Okay.
And so that inflated the numbers of how many hospitalizations there were.
Because they had COVID, but that's not necessarily what brought them to the hospital.
Precisely.
Some other ailment did.
They just happened to do a test while they were there.
Same with all the comorbidities.
Yeah.
I can never say that word.
Comorbidities.
Comorbidities.
Well, I can't say Neanderthal, so there you go. If it makes you feel any better.
It doesn't.
Oh.
CDC is investigating mild heart inflammation in small amounts of vaccinated teens.
Mellow down over there.
Mellow down on that.
Mellow down, bro.
Don't tell us what's going on. We don't want to hear that. I am so busy jamming my head into this sand
Yeah.
CDC says it's investigating a small number of reports of young COVID-19 vaccine recipients experiencing mild heart inflammation. Mellow down on that.
Okay.
The government health agency said it's received a relatively few reports of predominantly male adolescents and young adults developing myocarditis. Myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart. You just don't want to see that. Most cases appear to be mild, which is good. I'm sure it's another one of the amazing coincidences that happen after this vaccine is taken.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Stephanie Dubois of Cyprus. She was a model with RMG Model Agency, recently hospitalized and in a coma after a brain hemorrhage. Her condition was said to be a reaction from the COVID AstraZeneca vaccine, according to friends and family. Unfortunately, Stephanie didn't survive. She passed away at the age of 27 on Friday.
God. Oh, man. So young.
She'd made a Facebook post on May 6th and that said, "So I had the vaccination today, ! I hate needles. Today was no exception. Anyone who says you can't feel it is telling porky pies. I hated it. And now I feel horrendous. Pizza in bed for me."
That was May 6th, and then on May 14th, she reported again.
Oh, boy.
That she had high white blood cell count or something, and
didn't know what was going on exactly.
Yeah, she said, "I'm not lying, I'm really scared." And she died a week later, just on Friday, and her family says, no doubt this was caused by AstraZeneca. Terrible.
See, it doesn't help not to talk about this stuff because it's happening anyway, and you need to make informed decisions, and it might be incredibly rare, but it is happening.
Yep.
Cookie will make it all better. Just buy yourself a cookie.
Yeah?
Well, where would I get one, Pat, that's delicious enough to make everything go away? Kexi.com. You just go to Kexi.com and just order the most delicious cookies that are on the face of this planet.
How do you...
All right.
How do you spell Kexi.com?
Kexi. Then you put a dot.
Like
and
I
then
type
COM.
out the word D-O-T?
No, you just put like a period there.
That actually is a question that the President of the United States would ask.
Yes, he would.
Did I write D-O-T?
Okay, so it's K-E-K, I
G5.
D-O-T, come to me. No.
G5.
Right. And so it'll go super, super fast.
To deepening our cooperation to build out an open, secure G5 network.
He was proud of himself, too. See how he looks up? He's like, look,
G5 network.
I'm delivering this line so well, I can turn away from my notes.
Don't need the notes, don't need the script. I can say it.
Right? G5.
Oh, that's bumming it.
Yes. I want that guy to be president. That black dude wandering around the gas station parking lot.
Yeah. old ass bum in there.
Oh, that's bumming it.
Yes.
Oh, man. And it's not just that he's old. There's the cognitive decline.
Oh, yes.
That's somewhat troubling. All right, got some tweets here. Rowdy introvert tweets, it's not that hard. If the dead can vote, the dead can receive a stimulus check.
Oh.
And they do. Fatty McFats tweets, I worked with a guy that worked here in the U.S. a few years back, but moved back to Europe 2 years ago and has received all stimulus checks.
And we wonder, how are we in so much debt?
Just the sheer incompetence. It's mind-boggling. It really is. Via Getty tweets, I'm pretty sure it's mostly ugly people who are desperate to keep mask wearing a thing.
No, that's funny.
And from Idaho Cougar fan, starting to think the first shot is placebo, the second shot is the real shot. Although we've heard of people who've gotten sick both times, so that's comforting. I think they'll both make you plenty sick. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you'll grow a tail with the first one, and horns with the second one. You just burst right out.
Oh, I don't want the horns. No. I'd be self-conscious. But the tail I can live with.
The tail be okay?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Depending on how long it is. As long as you can keep it hidden in your pants, I guess it's okay.
Does that make driving tough? To have a tail you have to sit on?
I would think so. I've never had that issue, but I can imagine it might be difficult.
Huh.
Speaking of the president, he's not speaking at Notre Dame this year. Apparently there's, a semi-tradition at Notre Dame where the president or vice president speaks in the first year of their administration. That's not going to happen this time. White House claims they have a scheduling conflict. But apparently there were several thousand students at Notre Dame who complained about it.
4,300.
Because of his stand on abortion.
Wow.
How about that? Normally, Notre Dame seems to embrace all that kind of stuff, but they, at least a portion of the student body, didn't this time.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's great. Give you a little hope there. From the Everyone is Awesome category, Lego has announced their first LGBTQIA2+ set ahead of Pride Month. Lego Group has unveiled Everyone is Awesome.
It's about time, right?
At its first LGBTQ-themed set ahead of its launch during Pride Month. And there they are. Oh,
look at that. All the colors of the rainbow.
Rainbow Legos. Isn't that great?
Oh.
Just more propaganda for the kids. More brainwashing.
Let me play the role of Jeffy. What do you mean? It's just colors. It's just a very colorful set. What? What do you want?
Uh-huh. The set, which hits the Lego online store June 1st, includes 11 monochrome figures, each with its own hairstyle and rainbow color. Isn't that wonderful?
Mm-hmm.
The colors in the set are inspired by the rainbow flag. Surprise! The set also includes black and brown colors to represent the broad diversity of everyone within the LGBTQIA2+ community, as well as pale blue, white, and pink representing the transgender community, and a purple drag queen figure.
Oh,
you can't go without the drag queen. Drag queens are apparently make up about 80% of our population.
Is it 80?
Mm-hmm.
That number seems a little conservative.
80, 85, somewhere in there.
Okay, that's better. I could sense the hate that you were kind of weaving in there. Wait, they have a white Lego character?
Yeah,
What
but
are they
that's
thinking?
part of their part of their trans group, though.
No.
For some reason.
You can't be doing white. Come on.
Huh. Yeah, blue, pale blue, white, and pink represent the transgender community. The vice president of design for the Lego Group said in a statement he wanted to create a model that symbolized inclusivity and celebrated everyone, no matter how they identify or who they love. This is just what our kids need. It is. We need Lego to start preaching to them. The starting point for this was my feeling that we as a society could be doing more. Really? To show support for each other and appreciate our differences? It's not possible to do more. It's not even possible.
Yeah, we got the Pride cereal boxes. People are reporting they're showing up on your grocery shelves for June.
We are allowing the absolute brainwashing and indoctrination of our children now. Now, I don't see how much more you can do.
I mean, really, we had the drag queen doing the stupid song this past week.
For kids.
It's just grotesque. Oh, no, not that creepy.
Sing and dance it out.
No,
so, get your singing voices ready. And we're going to start with our hips.
No hips.
Hips on the drag queen go swish, swish, swish. Swish, swish,
I'm a
swish.
vomit.
Swish, swish, swish. The hips on the drag queen go swish, swish, swish.
Yeah, I got it.
All through the town.
Okay, this goes on until the end of time. Thank you so much, Rob, for showing your mercy.
He says now this is the vice president of design for Lego.
Okay.
Starting point for this was my feeling that we as a society could do more to show support for each other and appreciate our differences. Being LGBTQIA2+ myself, I knew I needed to step up to the plate and make a real statement about love and inclusivity. Sure.
Not soon enough, sir.
Joshua Gray, 21-year-old from St. Louis, said Legos have had a significant role in his life. When he first heard about the new set, Gray, who is bisexual, said he felt immediate joy. God.
21 years old and a toy company affecting your joy. I don't care if it's LGBTQ++, whatever. A toy company affecting your joy and you're 21 years old. I think that's the issue for that guy.
Mm-hmm. You think?
Yeah, I think that's probably the bigger story there. But not soon enough, Lego. What took you so long? And shame on this guy. He's a vice president of Lego. And what's the deal, man? Why didn't you act sooner?
Yeah.
You should have been on this train long ago.
Right?
Are you ashamed? What is the problem? What was the holdup there?
Why didn't we have this in, 1974, for that matter?
At least then.
Yeah. I mean, what's going on here? It's 2021, and finally, we have the LGBTQIA2+ community represented in Legos. There's just nothing that we can keep our children from experiencing at 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years old.
Hell no. You're supposed to
You got to throw everything at them.
Remember
everything.
That British couple? They're celebrating their 2-year-old being a different sex because they want it. Don't tell me that your kid wanted that.
Yeah.
But the good news though on the cereal boxes being specially made for Pride Month, you'll know if they've been on the shelf too long, because if you start rolling up to the store on about August or so and you still see these purple boxes or rainbow boxes on the shelf, you'll be like, oh, that cereal's old. That's been on the shelf for 3 months.
For a while, yeah. All right, let me take a minute and tell you about a great way to protect yourself, and that's with Taser. Protecting my family safely is my number one priority. Taser believes that safer self-defense is better self-defense. Taser's line of non-lethal self-protection devices are small and lightweight enough to carry around with you or in your glove compartment, in your purse, and they're powerful enough to incapacitate an attacker. Guns and pepper spray carry unnecessary risk for you and those around you. Taser products are safer and easy to use. They use an electrical charge to immobilize the attacker for up to 30 seconds, allowing you time to get out of there and send emergency dispatch to your location. For a limited time, you can take advantage of Taser's best offer available and save $60 on the Pulse Plus bundle with a Taser Plus device, cartridges, and holster at taser.com. This is so great. And just gives you a little bit of peace of mind, especially to take care of your family and hand these out to your loved ones so that if you're not with them ever, they've got a way of protection. Save $60 right now by using the code PAT at taser.com, TASER.com, taser.com.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Speaking of transgender woman just won a Florida mini tour event in golf and has now set their sights squarely on the Lpga. It was, by all accounts, an unforgettable day for Haley Davidson. On May 13th, Davidson drained a 5-footer for par on the 18th hole to win her first professional title, topping Lpga player Perrine Delacour in the process. That same day, she also received an email from the USGA stating she'd met the organization's gender policy eligibility criteria and can now compete in its championships. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
LTPGA.
She hopes to soon hear similar news from the Lpga via a reciprocity agreement. I'm not just going to be stuck on mini tours, Davidson said. Davidson is 28, works in social media for NBC's Peacock division under the Golf Channel umbrella, but has dreams of competing in the Lpga. In January, Davidson underwent gender reassignment surgery, a 6-hour procedure, and has been undergoing hormone treatments since 2015. Wow. A date, it's of course tattooed on her right forearm.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope she left room for her vaccination.
Well, that goes on the other side.
Okay. All right.
You got your trans surgery date.
Yeah, and then you got to have the vaccination date.
And
right?
actually...
And the Band-Aid.
On the trans surgery date, you have the day that the hormone therapy started.
Okay.
And then you leave a blank space for when you actually get the procedure. You go under the knife.
Makes sense.
So it's kind of like a follow-up tattoo.
We are currently reviewing Haley's application to participate in Lpga tour events under the Lpga's gender policy. The policy is designed to be a private and confidential process between the Lpga and the athlete. I bet women are just excited about this.
Oh, sure.
They can't wait to welcome this person to the Lpga tour. You know it. You know that's true. In 2010... they voted to eliminate its requirement that players be female at birth, not long after a transgender woman filed a lawsuit against the tour.
And that's where your problems began. 11 years ago when you refused to take a stand for women, and now, ta-da!
And now here you are. Mm-hmm. Earlier this year, USGA changed its gender policy to shorten the length of time transgender athletes had to wait to compete. Under the previous policy, player must have undergone gender reassignment at least 2 years prior to the entry deadline. The revised policy eliminated the 2-year period.
Yeah, no waiting period.
Gender reassignment surgery must now be completed prior to the championship entry deadline. Okay, good. All right.
So just schedule your surgery. Doc, can we get this scheduled before the tournament in 2 weeks?
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's just get it done right now.
Right here while I'm in the office? Mm-hmm. It's only 6 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
I got a tournament to win.
I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. The numbers don't lie.
Yep.
Boy.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And they look like Mr. Steiner as well when they compete out there.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I was waiting for that one. Oh, man. What a world.
Yep.
What a world. You know what? It's
a madhouse!
Yeah.
Hard to believe otherwise, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Federal judge has sided with Biden, ruling that Christian colleges must allow biological men to share showers with women.
You are full of good news. Are you going to mellow down a bit on this transgender stuff for us, please?
Probably not, since there's about 8,000 stories about it today. Seriously, we've had, 6 in a row? Something like that? I mean, it is amazing. Federal judge ruled that students of the opposite biological sex must be allowed to share shower spaces and dorms at a Christian college in Missouri.
This is why Hillsdale refuses to take a penny from the federal government, because you crack open that door and here come the federal regulations and stupid mandates like this.
Fortunately, BYU did the same thing. They turned down $333 million in federal aid from COVID. They said, no thanks. We'll continue to be self-reliant. Appreciate it, though. Judge Roseanne Ketchmark of the District Court of Western Michigan ruled against the College of the Ozarks Christian School, which had sued Biden's administration over its transgender discrimination policies. The college had challenged Biden over his January 20th executive order, which prevented schools from denying children access to bathrooms of their choosing. This is why now, if you're a biological male, but you identify as female, you can now go into the girls' showers. Are you telling me that's not going to be abused by anybody?
No, come on now, Pat.
Can you? That's what they say.
Cynic.
It's like you've said the most ridiculous thing in the world. Are you kidding me? What's ridiculous is thinking that's impossible or it won't happen. It's already happened.
We had a coworker who worked here
many times,
whose friend experienced that immediately after Target changed their policy.
Right.
It was a complete dude. What? I'm allowed to be in here.
I identify as a female. Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Just gut check. Stop.
By the way, that judge who made this ridiculous ruling against all women everywhere, a Barack Obama appointee, of course.
Of course. What happened to women's rights?
That's
they
old thing,
couldn't
man.
care less about them. Could not care less. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Talking about these transgender things. Seriously, incredible that you would have a Christian college ruled against because they're trying to separate the men's and women's showers. I don't understand how this is even possible, where they think it's perfectly fine. Yeah, he's just going to walk in there, biological male, with his actual unit still there, hasn't had reassignment surgery, and he's just going to shower with the girls. Nah, not a problem. Yeah, go ahead. That won't be abused. There's no chance of any kind of abuse there. So don't even worry about it. You know what? Title IX, you know what Title IX is, right? It protects women, and especially women's sports in college, in the college ranks. That Title IX used to be sacred text to the left.
So true. It came up all the time.
Now they just spit on it, set it on fire. Title IX is completely gone now. Let's go to Paula in Florida. Hey, Paula, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, Pat and Keith. How are you guys this morning?
Doing good.
Good. Listen, I have a little bit of experience with College of the Ozarks. It's a little gem of a school in Missouri. It takes about 1,400 people a year. My niece and nephew graduated from it. One's a lawyer now. The other is a flight pilot. Anyway, they are much like Hillsdale, though they do accept some federal funding. And I believe that's why they are being gone after by the courts. It's a fine school. It's like Hillsdale, and what's the college in Idaho that's extremely conservative? They're very similar in nature, and I believe that's why the courts are ruling against them. They want to take these schools out.
No, I think you're right. Yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty clear. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Paula, for that. Did you have more? Premature hang-up-elation. Okay, sorry, Paula.
But that's exactly it.
But she's right.
I mean, we've seen this for a century in this country. The slightest connection to the federal government opens the door wide for interference into what you're doing.
And if they don't capitulate, they face a 6-figure fine every time they violate the order. A tiny little college like this, they can't afford that.
Wait a minute. So,
can't afford that.
If this dude wants to shower, with
and they
the
say
chicks,
no, That's a $100,000 plus fine.
How many times do you think he showers every day?
I don't know.
I want to shower. I shower 18 times a day.
I just can't get clean. I just can't. I'm like Lady I can't get clean. It's just unconscionable to me, and it's something that I don't think we could have foreseen 10 years ago.
Think of this. The things that we waste time or spend time talking about that we shouldn't have to in a sane world.
Yeah.
I mean, we are living idiocracy to the hilt. And this is, you think this thing will end up in the Supreme Court?
Well, they said they're going to fight it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it very well may if they don't get the right ruling.
Can you imagine that, though? We're having to debate who can shower in whom's bathroom, and we're going through the court system to do this.
And you have no concern for women at all.
At all.
Okay, you understand what the situation is, right? We're talking about the showers. Nobody's going into the shower fully clothed. And you're okay with a dude, biological dude, walking into the women's shower. It's hard to believe you can even ask that question. How is that happening?
It sure would be nice debating real issues that face the country.
Well, they've Overton windowed us to about the 100th power. They just throw, they throw out outrageous things, and then it's also the Cloward and Piven theory of throwing everything. Not only is it completely left, and maybe they'll settle somewhere just shy of where they demand, but they're also throwing a million different things at us at once, and it's tough to combat.
It's by design, man.
And then, if anybody says anything about it, you just get shouted down as a racist or a hater or a sexist or whatever. Wow. Chance Coleman tweeted this out. There's an abolish whiteness sign that was found in Seattle.
Oh.
Just kind of nailed to a pole. Abolish whiteness. Whiteness is a form of racial oppression. Treason to the white race is loyalty to humanity. The goal of abolishing the white race is on its face so desirable that some may find it hard to believe it could incur any opposition other than from committed white supremacists.
What?
If you're a white person and you don't want to be abolished, well, then you're a white supremacist.
What? Wait. So just self-preservation is white supremacy. That's
white supremacy. The task is to bring this minority together in such a way that it makes it impossible for the legacy of whiteness to continue to reproduce itself.
Oh, genocide much?
Wow. From Professor Noel Ignatieff. What a brilliant man. That's great. And that's okay, too. So that's perfectly fine to call for the obliteration of the white race.
That's where we're at.
And if you oppose that, I'm sorry, that proves your white supremacy. Okay.
So if I don't want to die...
Yeah, then you're a white supremacist.
That doesn't seem right.
Doesn't it?
I think...
In what way?
Well, I'm not good at math, but it just doesn't add up.
Then we got this critical race theory teaching session in action where we can hear just a little snippet of what critical race theory is all about.
We keep hearing about all these classes being taught. Well, here's one of them.
Whiteness is not phenotypic whiteness. There's white people and there's people who happen to be white, for sure, right? Whiteness is and I'll explain that a little bit more in a second. So I'm going to make that statement and I'll backtrack.
Yeah, let her talk, dude.
Whiteness is a set of ideologies, ideas, institutions, and policies that have explicitly been set up, rooted and born in white supremacy, predicated on the binary of white and black, good and bad, and all of the tropes that come with it.
Shut up.
In order to maintain oppression. Now,
we're on drugs, for example.
Don't interrupt her, man. She's on a roll here. Shut up.
Okay.
Now, to be totally fair, to be totally fair,
Yeah.
the reason I say white folks and people who happen to be white is because anyone that is born in the world, because whiteness is global, can absolutely abide by tenets of whiteness. This is why we have Candace Owens. This is why we have Daniel J. Cameron.
Sure.
This is why we have black folks who will say critical race theory is trash, because there is trauma rooted in that for marginalized folks. That means they try to increase their proximity to those ideals and those policies and those institutions for safeness.
Bullcrap
but
artist.
at the end of the day,
who are you?
People who are phenotypically white have a choice.
Okay.
They can, because we're all indoctrinated into whiteness, they can choose to continue to uphold the system that was built for and by them on our backs. Those are white people. And then there's people who happen to be white, like a Dr. K, who is a person who is phenotypically white, who is now committed to dismantling that same system using her identity privilege. Correct. Does that full breakdown make it a little bit clearer?
No.
Yeah, it's a theory. Okay, yes.
It's not a theory.
It's not a theory.
So a theory means that we can sit here and, right, like critical race theory, for example, that's a theory because there are tons of ways to go at dismantling systems of oppression. I will tell you myself, while I learned critical race theory, I don't necessarily use all of the tenets or agree with all of them or necessarily think that we can't blend a few different theories. Right? That's why I'm super down for this conversation. But
good stuff.
There are certain facts in our social fabric.
That you're a racist,
This is why
that's
I asked
one
the
of
question,
them.
is racism real, so on and so forth.
Right.
Whiteness is a construct that was 1,000% created under Prince Philip's guidance.
Prince Philip.
At the birth of the enslavement of black Africans
Okay, hold on.
and the human trafficking of black Africans for the purpose of increasing wealth for Portugal because they could no longer tax their people. That was very intentionally fabricated through pseudoscience, through religion, and through history. Right?
Okay.
So we cannot say it's a theory when we have so much empirical and historical evidence to tell us that these things are in fact real and true.
And yet, I'm sorry, what's the name of it? Critical race theory. Yeah, it's a racist theory from racists like you. That is, wow.
Wait, this is the first time. Are we picking on Prince Philip now that he's dead? Or
I don't know.
What is that? Or is this a different Prince Philip that I should know about? What? The gymnastics these people do.
And I love the white girl in the upper right-hand corner. Not a peep out of her.
But she's nodding and
soaking it all in.
She was agreeing, yeah. This is happening in companies and schools.
Yeah.
All across the nation. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that they're getting fed if they want to keep their jobs or stay enrolled in a school.
And they're attacking black people like Candace Owens, who resist this garbage as the filth it is. And so because she's doing that, she's, of course, not even black.
Yeah, she's got whiteness.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have mainstreamed racism.
Yep. And in such a short time. This happened so quickly. They just pulled the rug out from under us just instantly. And everybody just capitulating. Yeah, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. You're right, white people are bad. Oh, white people are racists. There's no way around that. Yeah, yep, white people are evil. They're beasts and demons. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. Just like the Black Panther said years ago, they're demons. Need to kill them and day babies.
Yeah. Well, critical race theory is going to get a rebranding. It's going to get a new name. A year from now, we're going to be sitting here calling it something else because that guy pointed out, well, it's a theory. No, it's a fact, man. Yeah. And it's going to be like probably critical race logic, or it's going to get some sort of name so that you don't even begin to question it.
You can't question it. The science is settled. Just like you can't question abortion, you can't question climate change. And if you do, you're a heretic. Yeah. You're a lunatic. And we need to silence you.
Because remember, global warming used to be labeled as a theory.
Yeah.
But,
it's absolute fact.
But now it's indoctrination, and if you dare question it, even if you're applying theoretical standards to it, then you're going to fail a class, or you're going to be drummed out of something.
Even if you're a respected scientist like Stephen Koonin, who's, I mentioned last week, graduated from Caltech, got a PhD at MIT, worked in the Obama administration as a science advisor, and believed wholeheartedly in climate change, still does, but just won't say that it's an emergency. It's not a crisis. And actually talks about the facts around climate change. The fact that it's always happened. The climate is continually changing. How much of that is human-induced? Very little. But some. But what can we do about it? Is there anything? And is it really a fact that hurricanes and tornadoes, droughts and floods are happening more often and more extreme than ever? No. The answer to that is no. And it's just plain fact. Now, that is fact.
Any issues with the climate are obviously caused by whiteness, as you know.
Sure.
And, when they can connect these two, then it's game on.
And when you open up your mouth about it, even as a respected scientist, you get your head kicked in. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me tell you about Glint. Glint is fantastic. I really believe Glint is a great way to go. Looking for my Glint card, like this right here. I love Glint because, frankly, I don't trust the Fed. I don't trust our banks. Look what's happened to crypto over the weekend. It's so volatile. I don't trust the stock market. It keeps going up, and now, going down a little bit. Maybe it's just correcting, or who knows what's going on there. I don't trust our government. So I think buying more gold right now, especially the kind that I can actually spend, even at the grocery store, it's just a smart move. But right now, Glint is also crowdfunding. They want you to be a part of their future and to grow with them. Just go to republic.co/Glint. republic.co/Glint to find out more. If you qualify, you can invest in what I believe is the future of money. republic.co/Glint to get all the details and do your own homework. Glint. Buy, save, and spend real gold digitally. Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393 from the Sniper BBB at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Always leery of correlation is causation arguments, especially when effects are 20-plus years in the future. But when these vax issues are cropping up within weeks, should give people pause.
At least that.
Mm-hmm. It's given me pause multiple times every time I come in here on Monday. And we got these fresh stories. There's plenty to just give you some pause. Just think about it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but our position has always been, do what you want to do.
Right. Yes, if you want to get the vaccine, but we want you to be informed.
Right.
That there are some people who've had issues. There's just no way around that.
And government institutions with this shadow of compelling you, it doesn't feel like that's too far off.
Right.
Does that seem right? Whether you're pro-vaccine or not vaccine, this PR campaign is spooky. This is weird. Offering money and bribes. How soon until they just say, if you want to exist, get it?
And that brings us to proud Mr. Graybeard. I wish we would stop calling these injections vaccines at all. They are not. That is true. They're not vaccines in the truest definition of the word. We're having our DNA manipulated and tested on a global scale. Yeah, but don't worry about it. Sure, it'll be fine.
Do you want to get back to normal or not?
Right. I do. And the only way to do that, of course,
is to change your DNA.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait.
Aaron Grenade tweets, did you notice that the only Lego character left behind going in the wrong direction was the white one, while the black one led the parade proudly?
Okay. Okay. I mean, I guess if you want to really nitpick, but I like the observation.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like the white guy is assaulting the trans chick on the end, right? Like, it looks like about to slap her.
Well, that's what white people do.
Sure.
Right? So
maybe that's
perfect.
Accurate.
Publius tweets, what will Megan Rapinoe have to complain about in a few months when a crotch-scratching trans with 5 o'clock shadow takes her spot because she won't be woke enough?
So true.
From Amy What's-Her-Face on that critical race lady.
Mm-hmm.
It's like someone asked her to make the case for bringing insane asylums back.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That's exactly what that was.
There is a little bit of common sense circulating, though, still in the country. Apparently, there's somebody who has had enough with Jen Psaki. Jen Psaki talking about critical race theory being responsible. Where it's responsible, I guess the CRT is. And the things that the woman was saying about critical race theory, I guess that's responsible, too, in that little class that she was doing online. Jeez. All right, let's see what transpired here.
I don't think we believe that educating the youth and leaders of the future leaders of the country on systemic racism is indoctrination. That's actually responsible.
Let me get this straight. You don't think it's indoctrination to tell little black boys and little black girls that no matter what they do, no matter where they go, their skin color will always hold them back? Or to tell little white boys and little white girls that no matter what they do, where they go, their skin color dictates they will always be an oppressor. And instead of seeing their fellow classmates as just people, as just humans, they will see them as what critical race theory teaches them they should see them as. Jesus. A new generation filled with hate for their fellow man. Instead of seeing people for who they are on the inside, they will see people for who they are on the outside. Indoctrinate them early, they won't question the belief.
Just let that soak in for a minute. Oh. Thank you. Just a little bit of common sense there. And
we need it.
Again, yeah, and we need it from people like him. We need it from the black community, because they're not going to listen to us every time we speak up. We're just, showing our white supremacy, white privilege, blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't have any impact. He does.
Right.
He's got impact. Last week, Kemba Walker of the Boston Celtics wore a shirt that had a Gadsden flag on the back of it.
Oh, wow. What's his name?
Kemba Walker. He's one of the stars on the Celtics.
Is cancel Kemba Walker trending yet?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no. What happened?
They took it down immediately, and he apologized, of course, profusely for it. He didn't know what "don't tread on me" meant. He didn't know it was...
What?
Yeah, he didn't know it was a symbol of white supremacy. Come on. Come on now.
What? Okay. So it's a black dude.
Yeah, he's a black dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was cool for like a 5-second interval in our lives, huh?
Here was one of the tweets. Pretty good example of the kind of stuff he got. The Boston Celtics posting a pic of Kemba Walker in a neo-Nazi jacket.
I got it.
Is so aggressively on brand for that city. Oh. When did the Gadsden flag become anything like neo-Nazi? It's a symbol of freedom that our founding fathers used. It has nothing to do with white supremacy. What are you talking about? But they, of course, capitulated, took it down, and immediately. And then Kemba Walker said it was just, I just matched my outfit. That's the only reason I wore it. Okay. What a world. Where the OK sign means white supremacy, the Gadsden flag means white supremacy.
Love that world.
Yeah. It's a great world. And it's getting greater every day, isn't it, along those lines? Jeez.
Every day.
Got a little more common sense here. This from Tulsi Gabbard, who is calling for Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, to resign. Accused her of abhorrent anti-white racism. Yes, thank you. Mayor Lightfoot's blatant anti-white racism is abhorrent. I call on President Biden, Kamala Harris, and other leaders of our country of all races to join me in calling for Mayor Lightfoot's resignation. Our leaders must condemn all racism, including anti-white.
Yeah, I remember Lori Lightfoot said that she's only doing interviews with brown or black journalists. Now, keep in mind, she's married to a white woman.
Oh.
So maybe they're not speaking.
So
maybe that's what's happening.
Well, according to Vanessa, there's no such thing as anti-white racism. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What you're feeling as a discomfort is the actual playing field getting leveled for the rest. I see. Okay.
The liberals going after Tulsi. What else is new? I think she's going to run as a third-party candidate. That's my prediction.
Ooh, that probably wouldn't be a good idea. That never helps the Republicans. 888-900-3393. Also at Bat Unleashed on Twitter. Just another little indication that the America we once knew no longer exists. Kate Bossie, who is a grandmother and Sunday school teacher in New Hampshire, was arrested last Thursday at a school board meeting for the heinous crime of not wearing a mask.
What?
Thank goodness we got another person off the streets. Am I right? Who's with me on that? Whew.
Oh.
Attempted murder is what she should be charged with. Trying to kill all those people at this school board meeting with a naked face.
Where was this?
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
Live free or die.
Yeah. Yes.
Conform or prison. I think they need to update their motto.
Just moments after Bossie arrived at the Timberlane Regional School Board meeting to demand that children no longer be required to wear face masks in school, police arrested her for refusing to wear a face mask. So now we're actually arresting people for not wearing a mask. Video of the incident shows police officers forcibly arrest her just as she entered the auditorium. I mean, they were on her immediately.
Wow.
She said, "You're violating my rights right now. You're a miss." That was pretty calm. You're violating my rights right now. You are a miss. I'm a miss?
Not the word choice I would have gone with.
No, me neither. Me neither.
Unhand me. You are a miss.
You fiend. Unhand me now.
Of sorts.
Another man shouted, "Come on, Sergeant Porter. You know this is wrong, what they're doing to our kids." Yeah, it didn't matter. Jackie Widola, the daughter of Bossie, also told officers, "Are you seriously doing this, you guys? This is law enforcement? You're not enforcing laws. You're enforcing policy." Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. The meeting was planned to be held in person, but was ultimately held remotely. I didn't want to jeopardize the health of the staff and of the students, according to the school board chairperson. And Bossie was charged with disorderly conduct. When you see the footage of her being arrested, she makes absolutely no effort to resist. So I guess the disorderly conduct was just not wearing the mask. That is pathetic. That's really pathetic. I kept walking into the theater, she says, and he goes, "You're arrested." And I said, "No, I'm taking my seat." And that's when he started to handcuff her.
Wow.
When you just say, "Just wear the mask," you clearly have no understanding of early childhood development, and these are educators, she said. Really good. I mean, such a good point. And so amazing that they're actually stooping to arresting people for not having a mask on. It doesn't get any more insane. Well, yes, it does. Yeah, it really does. Dr. Fauci has flipped on yet another issue. Yet another topic. Can you believe this? I laughed out loud when I saw the headline because there it is again.
There it is.
He just keeps
Just when you think
doing
that
it.
every possible angle has been taken on every possible subject surrounding the COVID-19, they're like, "Oh, there's another one."
There's another one. Okay. He never runs out of things to flip-flop on. And so here's what he now says. He was asked about, now I think this was at a journalism school a couple of weeks ago, sponsored by PolitiFact. Now that's interesting because PolitiFact has deemed what he's about to say false in their fact check. So here's what he had to say.
But no, I'm not convinced about. I think that we should continue to investigate what went on in China.
The origin of the virus.
To the best of our
pause
ability.
it for a second.
Yeah. Exactly.
Should have mentioned, because I thought they were going to ask the question.
Right.
The question was, are you convinced that this virus developed naturally? Now play it from the start.
But no, I'm not convinced.
About.
No, I think that we should continue to investigate what went on in China until we find out, to the best of our ability, exactly what happened. Certainly, the people who've investigated say it likely was the emergence from an animal reservoir that then infected individuals, but it could have been something else. And we need to find that out. So, that's the reason why I said I'm perfectly in favor of any investigation that looks into the origin of the virus.
Has he met himself? I'm starting to think that maybe he's completely unfamiliar with himself and his previous positions, because that's amazing. That's incredible. How many times has he said this was not created by anybody in China?
You saying that, has he met himself? That reminds me of a movie about 20 years ago called Memento, where the guy just basically has no short-term memory. And he forgets everything every 15 minutes.
Right.
Dr. Fauci is the main character in Memento.
Yes.
He's got to tattoo information on his body just to remember what he said in the past. This guy is and when does Tom Cotton get an apology? Okay? Because remember, I just while that clip was playing, I Googled to see just different headlines that a year ago when Tom Cotton floated that very thing that Fauci is saying now. And here are the headlines. Republican who floated virus conspiracy says, let's see.
Virus conspiracy.
Yeah, conspiracy theory. Hold on a second. This one here. He repeats fringe theory, accused of racism for using China virus. Let's see. Theory. Let's see here. Tom Cotton. He's xenophobic. Here's an op-ed. I mean, it goes on and on. And now Fauci is saying it. Are they going to pile on him as well?
Oh, they're not. They're not going to.
It's just unreal.
And what I love about this event, it was called United Facts of America, a festival of fact-checking, sponsored by Politico, where he absolutely states what is supposedly conspiracy theory and false by Politico. And yet there's not a peep out of anybody on it. It's great. No, actually, I'm not convinced about that. I think we should continue to investigate what went on in China until we continue to find out to the best of our ability what happened over there. You talking to me, huh?
This guy is worshipped by the left.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what he says. They will continue to bow down to him and ignore stuff like this.
Doesn't matter. He can say anything he wants, and it's perfectly fine with the left. Especially now that Trump's not in office. I mean, they're not worried about whether or not he's backing up what Trump says anymore. But they're still just worshiping everything he says, swallowing it, hook, line, and sinker. Everything he says is gospel truth. And then he says the exact opposite, and then that's gospel truth.
I asked my mom if there's a word for this, and she said there is. Hypocrisy.
Well, if her mom said it, it must be true. Am I right? Who's with me on that?
That was the boy, yeah.
Shepard Smith asked Dr. Fauci if schools should compel students to get the COVID vaccine. And here's what he had to say about that.
What about that? Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. If they don't, that's on them and their parents. Why shouldn't middle and high schools be mask-free in the fall?
Well, it is conceivable that they might be, as a matter of fact, when you have a fully vaccinated, if the children get vaccinated, it is conceivable that that would actually wind up being a recommendation. We'll just have to wait and see.
Should schools tell students whose parents decide that they shouldn't get vaccinated, if you're not getting vaccinated, you'll do school from home, because we need an environment where kids can grow and learn and interact in a normal way?
Oh, God. Shepard, I'm not so sure that we're at that point yet. I mean, obviously, we're always continuing. The CDC is continuing to evaluate the situation. But I think to prevent children from going to school unless they're vaccinated, that could come about. But I'm not sure that we're ready for that right now. But all of those things are obviously under consideration at the local level. Certainly, certain school districts can do what they want to do. This is not a federally mandated thing. What I predict you likely will see is that school districts in different states and different cities will do things differently because they have the overall authority to do that at the local level.
I think we are at the point, though, Shepard, over there, of where school bus drivers should slap young students if they're not wearing a mask. If they're not wearing it properly over there.
I don't care! Hey, both of you have to wear the mask.
Don't touch her.
This is a 10-year-old girl, or 9, maybe? And look at that.
Go! Bro!
Male bus driver slaps a 10-year-old girl in the face because she had her mask pulled down. That is incredible. Is that guy in jail for assault, for abuse of a child?
I am suing everybody associated with that school.
I'm doing more than sue.
The school bus company. Oh, yeah. The district, everybody's going to get served. And that guy... Guess what? I was kidding about that boating accident. By the way, on the Fauci thing, can we go back to that for a second? Because every time Dr. Fauci says, quote, we're not ready for that, I swear it's on that CDC timeline in the basement in Atlanta, man. I swear it's on a whiteboard, and that's going to be in August. In August, when parents have gotten used to the idea that we're going to get back into a routine, all of a sudden the CDC is going to say, I think that school systems should require vaccines. And then if school systems don't conform to that, eventually there'll be a federal mandate. If you want your federal funds for your school district, then you're going to compel vaccinations. But they're going to make it so difficult on American parents that at the last minute, when everyone's back to normal and school's about 2 weeks away, just you wait in August, the CDC is going to say, you know what, the CDC guidelines, which so many people and institutions look at as gospel truth, are going to compel parents to get your kids vaccinated. That's coming in August. When he says we're not ready, he's telegraphing. And nice to see that Shepard Smith is still employed. Who knew?
Yeah, I mean, haven't missed him. But haven't seen much of him either. You know, and I don't watch, I guess he's on CNBC. So
I know.
I don't even know where CNBC is on my television dial.
When Rob put the video up there, I looked, where is he again? Look in the upper corner. Oh, yeah, that's right, CNBC. I mean, seriously, the only time I turn CNBC on, and who doesn't, is for curling every 4 years.
Curling.
Who's with me?
That shows what a loser channel CNBC is.
Whoa, Hawaii! Whoa!
Carry curling.
Oh, yeah, I just kind of made my own point, didn't I? I made your point for you.
Yeah, you kind of did. And speaking of all of this hypocrisy, it has happened again with Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. How many times is she going to skirt her own rules? Her rules are that you still have to have your mask on, even if you've been fully vaccinated when you go to bars and restaurants. So here she is at a restaurant with 12 friends, smiling proudly.
Wow.
And every one of them naked-faced. Every one of them. But that's okay. She can violate it. Oh, I'm sorry. We're all vaccinated, so I didn't even think about it. Yeah, okay. Well, that's the excuse I'm going to use every single time now. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't even think about it. So,
oh my.
I should be fine, right? I'm sorry. I should have thought about it, but I didn't.
Violating her own order. I'm telling you,
she did the same thing when she flew to Florida.
Right?
When was that? Just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and remember
violated her own rules again.
And remember her husband going down to the boat and stuff?
Yes.
I just my orders keep slipping my mind. That was so 5 minutes ago. I'm so sorry.
Over. You talk about she might be the queen of hypocrisy. Just incredible.
It is
watch.
A show. Don't you see that? This is a show meant to keep you in your place.
Definitely.
And by the way,
definitely is.
I keep thinking about stupid Fauci and those mask and vaccine things. You see that Texas, Utah, Iowa, and I'm sure there's more, but those are the 3 states that I saw over the weekend that they're done with mask mandates for school children in those states. And I mean, that's the mask at this point, but it's a good step.
Yes.
But I think it's, and look, there are the masks if you would like to These are the masks.
dirty feet masks.
The dirty feet
Don't worry
masks.
about it. Don't worry about it. They're dragged across the floor.
Oh, gosh.
They're sewn and immediately fall on the floor as the next one gets sewn. Yeah, but don't worry about it. They just pile up on the floor.
I told you about that time I went to the hospital a couple months ago, and they made you put a mask on, and it literally smelled like feet, and I had 2 flashbacks. That video and a college roommate of mine. It's now, seriously, I literally was thrown back into 1994. But anyway, but that's what people, man, they worship those things, and they can't give them up. They have become attached.
I recommend they wear them the rest of their lives. I really think they should. Wear them forever now. You can walk around with your mask proudly displayed in the grocery store, restaurants, and bars. Wear it into your shower. Wear it in your car while you're driving around the streets of your city alone. Wear it everywhere. Just continue to wear your stupid mask, okay? And keep touching it with your contaminated, filthy hands, too, because I'm sure that it purifies itself instantly.
Well, I'm sure your nasty, unwashed hands are cleaner than those feet in that floor in India. But no, that's good. It's
really good.
It's good. And I love how people constantly are saying, well, I don't want people to think I'm a Republican.
Yeah, shut up.
Okay, well, then doesn't that mean you're getting the vaccine? So you either have to wear the mask or you have to get the vaccine tattoo in order to virtue signal properly to tell people you're not a Republican. Okay, got it.
It's great, isn't it?
Losers. We're surrounded by them.
Sadly, yes, we are. 888-900-3393. Also, add Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Did we mention the fact, had it already happened? I think it had. The ceasefire in Israel seems to be holding up pretty well. But while all of the fighting was still going on late last week, we didn't get to this little gem with Dan Bongino and Geraldo Rivera.
I can't wait for this.
I tell you, on the border and in the Middle East, Geraldo is agonizing on both of those issues. And so when Bongino was on with him, it got a little heated. Check this out.
What, Biden's going to lecture Israel when Israel's had thousands of rockets fired right into their cities to destroy the people of Israel with a stated charter that says and calls for the destruction of Israel? You don't support that, Geraldo, do you?
You know, Sean, it is shocking and outrageous to me that in all the discussions of what's happening in Israel, the fact that Palestinians are being killed at the rate of...
Pause it for a second.
15 or...
So he completely ignores the premise. He doesn't care at all that thousands of missiles have been launched at Israel. And they started this again. Now Israel responds, and they're at fault because they're more efficient than the Palestinians. Well, I'm sorry, but maybe they shouldn't be launching missiles into civilian targets every couple of years. Maybe they shouldn't do that. Then that wouldn't happen to them. Simple process. Don't shoot missiles at us, and we won't respond. How's that? But he completely ignores that.
In all the discussions of what's happening in Israel, the fact that Palestinians are being killed at the rate of 15 or 20 times the death toll among the Israelis, including children, is absolutely...
Geraldo, let me stop you.
It is abhorrent to me. The Palestinians are digging themselves out from under the collapse of their buildings.
How about the terrorist organization Hamas stop firing those rockets from hospitals and schools and densely populated areas?
Why don't we?
Because they're the ones that fired first. If American City got hurt, it would be all America, all hands on deck. And if innocent people die, you blame the people that start the war.
There are dozens of Palestinian children dead. There are dozens of Palestinian children dead.
And whose fault is that?
With ammunition provided to Israel by the United States without even a demand for a ceasefire.
Whose fault
I
is
demand
that?
a ceasefire. I demand
that Israel win the war. Israel needs to win the war against terrorism.
By what?
And terrorists that are firing rockets at their people. Dan Bongino.
Let's kill all these children.
Dan.
Geraldo, you do this every time. This is such garbage, and I'm really getting sick of it. You play this emotional game with the audience and use your position of responsibility to put out misinformation and BS. You did it on the police thing.
Address the issue. Do you have the guts to address the issue and not address? This is not about me. You didn't come on this show to attack me. You came on the show to talk about the issue.
Because again,
do you have a point about the issue?
Your position of authority.
I'm sick of you, Bongino.
I'm sick of you. That are absolutely outrageous.
Geraldo,
You're
let him
an
talk.
uncontrolled lunatic.
Geraldo,
I'm sorry, because you can't go on the air.
I'm an out of control lunatic.
Calm down. Yeah, you really
I'm
need to calm down.
I'm a 10-time Emmy winner with deep experience in the Middle East. Have you ever even been there?
I've covered every war since 1973. I want to make my point when he stops talking. When he stops talking, I do have a point.
If your point is about me, I'm not going to stop. If your point's going to be about me, I'm not going to stop.
Geraldo Rivera does not understand that Hamas doesn't believe in Israel's right to exist.
Right.
Hamas wants the Jews dead.
Yeah, he will
and what
never
does he do? The
address
same thing
that.
with the police issue. He
Look
makes
at
this
that.
an
He turns his back
emotional
on him.
thing, and he says the Palestinian children. Of course we care about Palestinian children. You know the way we save Palestinian children is we incentivize the terror group Hamas to not fire rockets indiscriminately into Israel. And it would stop immediately.
Discussion.
Your debate on, you are so misinformed on this. It's pathetic. It's a bloodthirsty,
Don't come after me, calm the waters here. Let me calm the waters. Geraldo, let me calm the waters here. Geraldo, who started this war? Who started firing the rockets?
He doesn't care.
Where do you want to go? You want to go back to 1948, 1967, 1973?
Go back to 1947. Do it.
And yes, I've been to Israel. I've been to border. You know what? I've been to the border with Gaza.
I've covered every war since 1973 until 2012.
Kids can't play
the Iron Dome
in an outdoor playground because they can't get in a bunker. They play in indoor bunker playgrounds. I've seen the rockets, 10,000 in one city in 10 years.
A Palestinian life is exactly equal to an Israeli life or an American life.
All right,
who
can't
do
take
you
it
blame
anymore.
for firing?
Well, he blames Israel.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's just no logic there. There's no common sense. There's that blind support for the Palestinians. I don't understand it.
Don't come after me, punk.
Over and over and over. Calls Bongino a punk. It's amazing. Wow. And he won't address the actual facts of the case, that they call for the extermination of Israel. They started this thing. I guess Israel is supposed to try to kill only as many people as were killed by the Hamas group. So they can only kill the number of Israelis, the number of the Israelis that were killed.
Yeah.
I don't even understand it.
No, you figured it out right there.
Yeah. It's got to be exactly proportionate. Sorry. Plus, they even called the Palestinians and said, get out of the building. Children are going to be killed if you don't get them out of the building.
If
they're going to die, they're going to die. It's the Palestinians who are allowing this to happen and forcing this to happen.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.